Are we going live?
And I don't know why, but we are flipped. Why the flock of birds are we flipped?
We're really not this way.
We're not this way. We are live.
We're breathing. Wonder, is that something?
No.
I'll
see if I can't figure it out. Edit.
Well,
maybe edit.
I don't know. Aloha.
No, that's not any of it. Cancel my edit.
Cancel the edit. Well,
we're really hi. We're here, but we are flipped again, and I don't know why we're flipped.
We don't know why we're flipped.
Mm-mm.
But
it's only for us. Like, you guys are probably seeing us correctly, but
yeah. I couldn't tell you. I'm not one to know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm lucky.
But hi,
I can turn the
aloha back from Hawaii.
Hi, Carly from Michigan, and Ashley and Roslyn. Oh my God.
Holy buckets. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, wait. We lost you. There we are. Okay.
I'm not messing around with it anymore.
Forget it. It's just going to stay the way it is. And
I'll try and mess with it.
We'll just kind of do this every once in a while.
Yeah, because like we don't. I'm sure it sounds really weird, but we are looking at ourselves in the flip in the mirror.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, and Nancy from California. I hope you're not in any of that water. Sorry, I sent it your way. Got to tell you a story. I don't know. I'll tell you guys a story. In Hawaii, coming back, I was checking the weather just to see how bad.
Yeah.
We were going to go from 70s to what? Back to 50s. And I looked on the Weather Channel and they had this cute name for their storm, Pineapple Express. Now, I mean, how cute is that? Because they name their storms and everything. And it's this big system. So I'm thinking, hey, they finally got somebody in there who can name them besides Zach, 10724 LD. So I said, cool. So I send my husband a text saying, hey, this is a cool name for this. It's called a Pineapple Express. And he goes, yes. He goes, that's known as an atmospheric river. And that's exactly what they got on the West Coast. Believe me, I think they got two of them. The waves everything forms like outside of Hawaii and around Hawaii. And the waves take longer to form in Hawaii. So there's more moisture. And yeah, I got a whole big explanation. I got an email this long. And I realized what it was, and I went to the bottom where it said, have a good day, and I clicked off.
Yeah.
So anyway, back from Hawaii. So sorry, Nancy, I didn't mean to bring you all that rain to the wonderful world of California. But
yeah, and my husband's on his way to Vegas.
Where they had
they got a lot of rain there too, but it's so funny because he's going out there personal time to do a golf tournament out there with a buddy of his, and he was so Polish. I don't like
no parts or letters here. We love Polish.
Sometimes our husbands
are just not there.
Right. Like their brain does not function. So he's trying to book his hotel. This was months ago. Not mind you, months ago. He was trying to book his hotel and he couldn't. We have gone to Vegas a million times.
Because your parents.
Because my in-laws lived out there. So we've been there a million times. Not once have I ever booked a hotel room beforehand.
Right.
Like literally fly in and book a hotel room.
And then you can find one.
There's
they have like 80,000 of them out there.
Yeah. There's a bazillion. So you always get the best deal if you can just wait till the last minute.
Right.
So that's what we typically do. So, but because he's with a buddy and it's, you know, the parents aren't there anymore, so we can't just crash at their place, you know. He's trying to book a hotel room and cannot find a hotel room.
I know.
Couldn't find a hotel room.
I wonder why.
And I'm dying laughing. So he's in his office and he's
probably going, son of a bitch, but this is a work.
He's like, why the hell can I not find a freaking hotel room in Vegas? And I go, well, what's going on in Vegas the week that you're going to be there? Now this, like I said, this was months ago. And so.
And they have conventions there all the time.
They have conventions there all the time, but.
Yeah. So
one convention is not going to book up entire Vegas.
Conventions.
Even two. No, back to back to back. I mean, it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter because they got
so many hotels. And I said, well, just Google it. What's going on in Vegas this week? And so that's what he types in. What's going on in Vegas the week of blah, blah, blah. And of course, there's all these things, dueling piano and the Blue Men Group. It gives you this list of small events in every freaking hotel room. And I go, would you change your search function to what big event is going on? Yeah, the Super Bowl. For fuck's sake. So he's not out there to go to the Super Bowl. He is there for a golf event, for a golf tournament. But it just happens to be over the Super Bowl. So, of course, everything is fucking booked up and
it's going to be like crazy. Yeah.
Crazy busy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
So he did end up.
I know he told me like down on.
He's on. Well, the tournament that he's in, they have a hotel and blah, blah, blah. But he went out a day early today, or 2 days early, whatever. And so he needed to find a hotel room for those days. And he ended up finding one on Fremont Street.
Actually, pretty reasonable.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was only like $80.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know how I found this one.
Yeah.
But he's like, he was even looking at the hotels in Mesquite, which is like an hour outside of Vegas.
Yeah, I bet.
And he's like, the Eureka was booked up. He's like, the Eureka was booked. And I'm like,
oh my God. The
Eureka is like the Pahrump, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, out by the Bunny Ranch.
Well, I mean, actually, when you think about
I'm like, maybe you could get one at the Bunny Ranch. Maybe you could get a room at the Bunny Ranch in Pahrump.
There he goes.
Oh my God.
He can bring me back a set of bunny ears for Easter. That would be kind of funny for us.
That was the one thing we said when his parents lived out there. We said we need to open up a bar in Pahrump. Pahrump is where the Bunny Ranch is, if y'all don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, we need to open up a bar in Pahrump by the Bunny Ranch and call it the Moist Cherry.
All right, guys. No cards and letters for that one, I'm telling you.
Oh, we had all kinds of cherry drinks.
Oh my God.
We had all kinds of cherry drinks on our menu. Yeah, it was hysterical.
Oh my God,
We'd
that
die
would be
laughing.
so funny just to do that. It's like I always said, if we ever open a restaurant or something, I'm going to name it. It's going to have several names like you decide, I don't care. It doesn't
whatever
matter to
you
me,
want.
Whatever you want. Not that we've been there.
You always get the same thing.
Yes. I said, and it would just be one of those that has all those names across the top, and diners, drive-ins, and dives would be standing out there going, well, which one are we going to today? Well,
I think that's what the menu items should be. Like a club sandwich should be, you always get the same
thing. Yeah, because he does. He always gets the same thing. We go Mexican, it's a taco salad. Me, it's more nachos or something like that.
Oh my God,
he goes into, and when we do breakfast stuff, he always gets a certain kind of omelet,
Yeah.
So you're right. So you always get the same thing.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want, dear. I don't have
whatever
a preference.
You want, dear. Where should we go tonight?
Yeah, that's a good thing when you get those sort of places. It's like
the original Psycho Susie's in Minneapolis had one of the best menus. Now they opened up, they closed the original one, and I think they turned it into Dangerous Betty's, but she has Psycho Susie's and Betty Dangerously. Betty Dangerously is the other one.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
At any rate, their original menu was great. It was like, because their kitchen was like the size of a walk-in closet. It was super small. So like their menu had on it, it's going to be a while for your food. So the kitchen is the size of a postage stamp. We're working on it. Get over it. I mean, literally, the menu was just like that. It was
I love it.
So fantastic.
That's so cool. Because even though if you're going in with a hangover, you're going in with something.
Get yourself a tiki drink and relax.
Yeah,
we'll get you your food.
We'll be there for a thing. And I'm sure the people, the way they brought it to, they probably brought it out and here, now you got it. You know?
But she had like the best food on her menu.
Sure.
It was like pigs in a blanket. deviled eggs.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
just super cool stuff.
Flat out bar food.
Oh my God, that's so much fun.
Pizzas in the brick oven. Now it's a big plate.
Thanks, Karen. My head looks better. It really does. You guys,
yeah.
get to
She came over the other day, and I'm like, it's not Ash Wednesday. What the hell? And she's like, yeah, no, I bonked my head on the cruise, but I'm fine.
But I'm fine. I did. I roll to the right. I sleep and I roll to the one direction. And I was next to the window, and they have a little knee wall up at the top to keep the bed from going into the window, right? I had no idea where I was. I cover my eyes. I went to pull myself up in bed, and bam, right into the wall. And I mean, I nailed it because I went, ow. And I even woke Gail up to the point that she looked over to see if I was on the floor between the beds, because I have been known to do that too. But it's a good thing she kicks all her pillows off and her blankets off so that I have some place to land.
You have bedding and pillows for you on the floor. So I can
just stay on the floor.
Fine.
So 12 hours later, and this is like the second night of the cruise, we were at dinner, and she's like, what? And I thought all day I kept kind of looking at it, and it hadn't really started to form. But you could see a bit of a shadow. So I'm thinking, all right, nobody thinks I fell or I had a drunken stupor. And Mikey goes, well, you fitted in very well with, when I sent him a picture, he said, you look like a real carnival reveler. And I'm like, yeah, the teetotaler of the group, you know. I said, so I took telling Gail, I said, I'll take your drink up. And she's like, no, I'll take it. You don't have to. And I'm like, no, it looks like this is for real then. I said, I'd rather tell people I did it drinking, because then they're cool.
At least then,
then they don't look at you stupid. Like, what do you mean you pulled yourself up in bed and you banged your head? How do you do that? You know, what a dummy, you know? So I thought, it's much easier going the other way. So and you could tell some people would look like, is it Ash Wednesday already?
Yeah. When I saw her, I was like, I don't think so.
No. And I was afraid it was going to go even further, you know, down.
Right.
But there's a ridge of tissue here to keep it from going into my giving me a black eye.
eye.
Because then I was going to say, I said, if I get a black eye, I'm going to tell him you did it. She goes, and I'm going to tell him you deserved it.
I don't know if I've told you this story, but I did have back in the day when I was a bartender at a nightclub with bouncers and all that. I was waiting at the end of the night, you know, when the lights come back on and you're kicking everybody out. You know, the bouncers are kicking everybody out. There was this gentleman that was in one of my math classes. This guy who was in one of my math classes, and I was having a problem, and he was, you know, good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to him. He just happened to be like Korean or
one of those.
So littler guy.
Yeah.
And I was standing behind him because he was talking to somebody else. So I was standing behind him, and then I realized that the discussion that they were having was a little heated.
Right.
And the bouncers picked up on this.
Okay.
And so they were on their way over, and not my friend, but the other gentleman took a swing at my friend.
Oh my.
Like full on swing. And of course,
my
friend who is probably a martial artist or something, you know,
goes, oh yeah.
He like ducked to miss it. And I got clobbered full on from this dude right in my nose. And of course, the bouncers are there in a second, and they have this guy.
Yeah, but
and then one of the bouncers is like, "Sue, are you okay?" Well, they called me Spitfire. They're like, "Spitfire, are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. But my eyes are just going.
Yeah,
they instantly, you're crying. Yeah, I had 2 black eyes.
Oh God,
2 black eyes.
Oh, because he knew
for that one. Oh yeah, he got me.
Oh,
he got me good.
That would be terrible.
He got me good. So that's the only time I've ever had a black eye. That's it. It's the only time.
No. I had one once years ago. We were first married, and of course, you sleep in a double bed, and you cuddle, and everything. And he used to sleep like this. Now he covers his head, and he's got a CPAP, and you name it. And we sleep in separate beds, so it's even better. But he like
rolled over,
and just perfectly
clobbered you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And I woke up and it hurt, and I remember it. but I don't remember the blood and everything because I woke up to wet pillow and I went back to sleep because it was in the, you're in the middle of a REM sleep and you're like, how long? And I cuddled up to him and his arm is covered in blood and my nose and everything. Well, I had to go to work. And my bosses and I hadn't been at that job very long. We're all concerned, because here I come into work. I'm like, no, it's not what you think. And then everybody on the train who knew me too, it was like, it's not what you think. Yes, he hit me, but it was in his sleep, And
so he's subconsciously beating you.
Actually, somebody said that. Maybe he was dreaming about beating you. And I said, well, we'd only been married like 2 or 3 years back then. I said, so I learned my lesson. Put him in the other room. It works.
Put him in the other room.
That's how it works. So yes. Been back about a week, guys. It was a great trip. I think it's my most favorite cruise now because it's 4.5 days to get to Hawaii. You don't have to get off. They have shopping usually right there or buses. Yeah. Hilo Hattie had a bus at everywhere but in Hilo because Hilo Hattie is a Hawaiian store that makes shirts and Hawaiian stuff. Very well known out on the West Coast in Hawaii. But there's no store in Hilo. It's in Kona, an hour away. How do you like that? I mean, I can't make these things up, guys. Seriously. It's like Jamie.
Maybe there was originally one there and it just,
probably closed, because of the pandemic and the volcanoes and all that
whatever
other stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got off the ship in Hilo and I went down and I asked the one guard, and they had a bus to Walmart. So I was like, okay, we'll go to Walmart instead. I asked the one guy, I said, is the volcano still flowing? And he goes, well, there's some lava out there. He said, so it's always usually spitting something, but I don't know what it's doing today. So he said, I'll give my buddy a call and find out for you. And I said, well, I'll check with you on my way back. My sister comes down. We go to Walmart. We come back. I asked the guy and he goes, nope, no volcano, no lava today. My sister was there. Every time we have gone to the Big Island to see the lava, it stops the day my sister gets there. We've walked out there. I don't know how many flights.
She's a hothead, and she just
Pele is like, all right, I'm ready to take her on. I gotta wait.
Maybe we should have sent her over to Maui.
I know she should have. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We didn't get to that part of Maui. That was on the other side.
Right.
That was a great tour. We went into a wonderful valley. Sort of looks like all the other, like the Waimea Canyon in Kauai and stuff. Pretty much one island. It's just the diversity. The Big Island is my favorite because you can look up and you see snow and you're like, is it really snow? And yes, it's really snowing up there.
It's really snowing.
And over here you've got the desert, and over here you got the green rainforest and the rain, and then you've got all these flowers kind of going around the north. It's.
I think I was only on the Big Island when I flew in, then I took a plane to Oahu.
Okay, yeah, a lot of times.
I don't think.
Yeah, but it was really great, and you don't have to get off. You can get off and do a little shopping. Most of the time, they dock within areas that you can get to beaches and stuff.
Did we take a plane or did we take a ferry? Is there a ferry from?
No ferries. They're all planes.
Yeah, I was like, it's been 50 years since I've been there.
Except the first time we went, my sister, we went to Kauai the very first time, and was just Kauai. She went to a conference, so we were having a good time. We were just in Kauai. Next time, she took me for my birthday, and we took Mom with us. And I said I wanted to go to Oahu just to see the Arizona. So we went to Oahu that time. And then and then we were waiting at the airport, and she's like, I said, how long is this flight? And she goes, oh my gosh, because it's better than Chicago. It's like up and then down.
Yeah, 30 minutes.
And I'm
tops.
like, oh, okay. I'm like, then why didn't we just drive? Right? Okay. Duh! Even back then, it didn't hit the top floor. Okay. So it's getting even lower now. It don't even go to here. And she's like, well, when they build the bridge, we'll do that. And I was like, oh, I get it. I remember where I am now. So
I'm not going to take a plane from Indy to Chicago. I'm not doing it. I gotta be at the airport 2 hours in advance. No, by that time
you're just about there
in Chicago.
Yeah, just about there. So it's so funny when you think about that. And I remember that flight because she came by and she gave us the little cups of punch. There was only one flight attendant on it, and it was a pretty good sized plane. I'm not kidding. The minute we kind of got off the ground and they got up there, she's going by and she's giving out these little cups, and I'm thinking we're going to land any minute. I no sooner got mine open, took a slurp, but she was coming by and picking it up. And listen, seriously, she was literally taking it out of your hand, putting it in the trash, and the next thing you know, we were on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
They probably don't even give anything away anymore on
Probably
that one,
not. No, I'm sure they don't. They didn't on the Atlanta flight either when we came back. Only an hour flight. So anyway, so other than that, it was really, and it's like I said, besides that, you don't have to get off. And every port in Hawaii, you have a beautiful view.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
One side is the port where they're doing all the lifting and the stuff.
So you went to the big
Maui
island
first.
Maui.
And you're sitting there and you see the beautiful picturesque. Within walking distance, there's a little shopping area,
Mhm.
all the palm trees, beautiful day. You can do some shopping, go back to the ship, have the whole afternoon to yourself. We were there till 10:30. The next day, we went to Honolulu. Same thing. Beautiful port right there in almost downtown. I mean, they've moved downtown way out.
Wow.
There's a
Yeah,
Walmart and
okay.
a Sam's Club right in the middle of town, right next to
Nice.
Michael Kors. It's unbelievable. Hilo Hattie had a really nice bus that picked it up at the spaghetti factory, which is, if I had known they'd had one, we would have gone to lunch there because I love their spaghetti. And right by the beach, beautiful park. So you don't even have to go on an excursion. You can just do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And in fact, we were there again until 10:30 that night. And 2 excursions that went to the North Shore actually, even though it was a weekend, we got there on a Saturday, came back and they were late because of the traffic. Their roads
yeah.
are like 8 lanes wide.
Yeah.
I mean, coming out of Honolulu. And then we went to Kauai, same sort of situation. You can see the beautiful stuff and everything. And then we went back to the Big Island and then to Mexico. Ensenada was okay. If I ever go back there again, if the ship stops there again, then I would go into town. We went out on this bus to a blowhole. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And it was supposed to be this pretty, and they write it up as being pretty spectacular.
Of course.
Except you really can't see it. It's way down in a crevice, and you really have to lean over to see it. And I'm like, okay, I've already banged my head once. I don't need to do it again. And it blew up. It blows up a good 100 and some feet. It's like a geyser thing. It's very big and very wide. And they have shops, no electricity, no facilities. It's just this place that everybody comes to. And so they took advantage of it to start selling their wares. So you're hassled the entire time you're out there.
Yeah, of course.
And I thought, well, I know they're working on it because you can see that they were making changes in Ensenada and stuff. And it's only like an hour and a half or so from Tijuana. So I thought people would be going, as they improve it for themselves, they can do more. A lot of agriculture down there. They grow a ton of stuff and the fields were beautiful. They had a lot of rain, but the rows, just unbelievable with the way that everything was growing and everything. And this is January and I'm thinking it's only 60 degrees, but they had all these, everybody had all the greenhouses and everything. So I was like, on a spring day when it was a little bit better, when there was a little more green.
Yeah.
Because it was awfully wintry.
Like, yeah.
And on our way, we got to see tuna farms. There's these big round things that they grow the tuna in down there. And they were jumping around and doing their thing. And we got to see whales. We had a pot of whales playing with the ship.
Cool.
Yeah. He said,
like
going alongside
blue
the
whales
ship.
or like
I have no
killer
idea
whales,
what they were.
but they weren't like killer. They weren't the black and white ones.
They were black and white. They were kind of a
That's
bluish
killer.
color. There was on this side, and there was just a whole bunch of them. And we were kind of going like this, and they were kind of coming like this. And of course, you knew it was there because and the ship was leaning
and the
towards
ship leans,
that direction because everybody wants to see them.
But
Yeah. And when we came out of Hawaii, same thing. There was a pot of them just outside of Hawaii. So they were I guess they're heading south for the winter months for breeding, to go to the warm water. Because, we switch. So anyway, it was fun. But it's 4.5 days to get to Hawaii. When you get to Hawaii, again, You can stay on the ship or just walk around the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and it's like another sea day. And then
Yeah.
it's 5 days to get to
To Mexico.
and then you're bam back. It's like, oh my God, it was so relaxing and just so, just, I loved it. I said, this is now my new favorite, you know. I said, Mikey, you're going to be going to Hawaii.
Well, your Singapore one, you're going to have lots of sea days.
Surprisingly, we have the 6 days is the longest section. We do a lot of 2-day stop, 2-day stop, 3-day stop, that sort of thing, you know. And then the 6th day and the 4.5 days coming back from Honolulu are the longest sections. But that's okay. That'll be in the fall. We'll see.
So what you working on?
Oh,
what you working on? What you doing?
Tell you.
I mean, because they've seen the shit.
You
know, I'm still toiling away on this.
Okay. Well, let's start with, I did make a hat while I was gone. And I left the little thing with the yarn. You'd be so proud of me. I kept the little yarn ball thing for this. And I wrapped it back up and I stuck it in the center. And it's at home, of course.
Of course.
But I made a hat.
That does look kind of like a Brenda and Heather. Is it a?
No, this is what we bought at Simply Sock. That one brand.
Oh.
That new brand none of us knew anything about.
Yeah.
This is called Mainland. And it has no cables in it, but it looks like it's got cables in it.
Yeah, because it's kind of ebbs and flows.
Ebbs and flows. And this striped all by itself. This was the yarn. It's DK. Took me like no time. It's got an 8-row repeat. It was really fun. And I really had a good time with it. So I did do this in between working on Stephen West, which I'll show in a minute. Then I also have my little Musselburgh with me. Of course, I have the muscle side of the Musselburgh, except I found another skein of this. I must have bought 2. So I may go ahead and make a true
full on Musselburgh.
Yeah, but I think I might put like that dragon scale in around here, you know, for a little bit. So maybe just add a little diversion to it. So that's number 2 that I did. Because you got to remember, we had a lot of days. And I don't hang in the casino like my sister does.
No, you hang at the library or the coffee shop or something.
Yeah. This time mainly I was up in Lido, and this group of people up in the buffet, because the light's the best. It's up on 9, and the light is the best. And these people just didn't hang out up there, so there was always tables. Usually, you know, so we had a group of 4 tables that people were at that everybody knew. And one guy one morning was there and he was just kind of sitting there watching the world go by. And I walked by and he goes, hey, and I said, pardon me? And he goes, here, you can have your table. And I said, no, you're sitting there. I can go someplace else. And he goes, no, he said, I like to watch what you're doing. So he actually got up for me, you know, and I got to be known as the knitting lady throughout the entire ship.
Well, you were there for 3 weeks, so yeah.
Yeah, they all kind of got to know. So Mr. Me and Stephen West, I took Stephen West with me, the glittering snowscape, and I had started it beforehand. And sorry, I lost my little ball. I got to put it.
You lost your balls.
Yeah, and Carnival gives you great yarn balls. Yarn bowls. Yep. Called a cereal bowl.
It works really well. She'll bring it back.
I'll bring it back, Carnival. Don't worry. I'm going to bring it back on the next cruise. May not go back to the Miracle, but it'll go back to Carnival.
Yeah.
So I was working on this, and then all of a sudden, snap. Right here. On this needle, on a 4. And I thought, don't panic. You'll fix it. So I had bought a set on Prime Day of Likey shorties. Cute as can be, right? Likey's fit Knit Picks cords, but not the shorties.
Not the shorties.
So I had to take and put all of this Stephen West on all of these little cords, putting all the connectors together, working with these teeny tiny needles on these intricate stitches that he loves to do. And I'm not complaining. I'm learning. So that's really pretty cool. And I know this about Steve, but then I gave up because it was like, I can't do this anymore. Oh, okay. Put that back in there.
Yeah.
Because I will take them, because you never know. Because if you find now in Hawaii, they have a lot of fabric.
Yeah.
Not much yarn. So I thought, okay, well, we'll figure something else out. I had taken yarn to make another shawl for Colleen's friend, her mom, Rita, her friend Rita. And I didn't have the needles. So I thought, okay, great. And this.
So you thought you'll just go get some needles.
Right.
At Walmart.
Right. Which I did. And we'll get to that next. So Glittering Snowscape is the Stephen West that I'm working on.
Oh, look at this. This is so cool.
Isn't that cool? Isn't this is, and I've only done 2 colors. I go to the color next. This is a mesh stitch here where you do a double loop. And then when you come back, you knit into the first one and you purl into the next 3 stitches. And it creates that mesh type look.
This is so tight.
Isn't that tight? I know, I'm a tight knitter. And the first.
I hope that blocks, like.
Me too. I'm hoping I can pull it out. This is on a 40, guys. Now I'm on a 40. Wow. And so, and I've only done 2 colors.
How many colors are there?
5.
5. Holy crap.
Yeah. So this is next. No, 2. This is 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. These are all purpley kind of.
And
colors.
burgundy.
And burgundy. So it goes to the dark. Look up the pattern.
What's it called?
Glittering Snowscape.
Glittering Snowscape.
Yeah.
And you are going to need a much wider cable.
I do. I have up to 60 inches.
Yeah.
So I may have to put another thing. The little duck is where I was at home. That's what I did before I left. And then to the next duck, I did this much on the airplane, which is pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, that's the airplane. And then this is what I did on the ship. And it broke somewhere in here. So I had to go back. And then I was working on it, and this lady heard about it. And she comes flying over, and she says, and I'm in the middle of doing this, moving the stitches up to the thing. And she comes over, and she says, oh, my dear, I've heard so many wonderful things about this. And she takes and she pulls it, and 3/4 of this all goes right off. She goes, oh, my, and she didn't even notice she did it. I mean, like 12 stitches. And I had to sit back and she's over here going, this is beautiful work. And she's going on and on about her mom used to do this. And I'm just looking at this side going, oh my fucking God, how am I going to fix this? I don't even know what it is. And I was like down here,
Oh my God.
And
I would have killed her.
And I tried to be very pleasant and everything. And thank God she didn't hang around too long. So I
would have killed her.
I immediately put it back on and then put it away because I figured when I got home, I would fix it. So in the meantime, while I was messing with this, I pulled out, this is Miss Babs Yowza. Isn't that a fun color? Isn't that fun? I think it's called graffiti, if I'm not mistaken. And I brought it to make hats, to do maybe 2 of these,
Well, that is an interesting way to design a hat.
Isn't it wonderful? But because of the needle issue, I couldn't start the one for Colleen.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd start this one for Colleen's friend, but I ended up not getting it
Careful,
done.
those are live.
I know they are live at the other end.
Yeah.
I better pull that back here.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
they're really close to the tip.
Or I'd really be in trouble. This is called May I Borrow This Please? It's a shawl. It's free on Ravelry. I learned about it when we went to Alaska many years ago. And it's DK or bulky. And she did a 9 and a 10.5. Well, because I didn't have needles, I went into local Walmart, Honolulu, thinking they got to have them. No, they didn't have them. Oh, there's Target. Quick, run into Target. No, they had like 13, 17, 2. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, ew! So finally got it, I think in the Big Island. I mean, yeah, maybe it was Big Island. Ta-da!
Oh my God, and they're like buoyed.
They're boiled, which are fine for some.
Totally
if this
fine.
Is all your,
but this cable.
Exactly.
This the needles are fine. The needle,
Yeah.
but this cable, this would drive me. There's no getting that
No.
out.
None. I set it underneath.
Look at this, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I took the
oh my God, that would
suitcases
drive
out.
me absolutely
Yeah.
nuts. So
I took the suitcases out.
it's so stiff.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So, needless to say, I started this with an 8 and just went on my merry little way. And the ball kept, as I kept getting smaller with it. And Miss Babs, her yowzas are like 500 yards.
And you got 2.
And I got, well, because we had to cut it, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
didn't
right.
want to come off the thing. So I thought, well, I'll just keep going. Maybe I'll repeat the pattern, which is what I'm thinking I might do now because I know I have enough. So I thought, well, maybe I'll repeat it. And maybe I should just start decreasing. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But there you have it. That was my 2 weeks of knitting. So in the meantime, now I'm kind of back. Stephen West will be just at home. You won't see it very often, not like the other one when I did painted bricks. I won't bore you to death with it, but I may bring.
And you won't tell us how many stitches are on your needle when you get 5,000 stitches on that last row.
Actually, now I'm over 20,000. I do keep track, but I won't tell you until the end. See, I actually put it on a
spreadsheet.
No, I thought about that, but I didn't have my computer with me. But I did do that. And see, this is what I do at the end of this. And he breaks it out into sections, which is very cool because this is section 1, section 2, section 3. He spells everything out. If you have a repeat, he puts it in a box and you only repeat it. And you rarely see it again. And he's doing all these wonderful stitches. And I mean, I don't know how his brain works. I mean, how would you know to put this in the middle of all of this? It's just, the only thing I wish is the gray was a little bit lighter, but maybe once I get the rest of the colors in, it'll fit in better, because that was one of the things people said to me. Why did you choose gray? I said, I didn't. Stephen West did, because this is his yarn, sort of situation. But I do keep track of my stitches, and I'll kind of give you an idea. Just, on these bigger projects, it's kind of good to know. So in section 1, it was only 171. In section 2, he doubles it. Goes to 661 stitches. So the last time after section 11, which is before this wonderful mesh, which is really, once you figure it out, after about the 3rd time you've done it, it's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you put it, the first row is you knit 2 together, 2 overs, and then you SSK all the way across. And then when you come back, you knit into the first yarn over, you purl into the next 3 stitches. But you can't be like thinking or watching like people. I like to watch Glow Up. If you've ever watched it on Netflix, it's great. It's a makeup artist. Okay. They're makeup artists and they do these amazing, amazing faces. And you can't watch that and figure out what you're doing at the same time. So yes, now I am at 24,017 stitches plus all the times I had to fix something, go back, go in, go at. Yeah, I just sort of add them up and then, because now it's 318 stitches across. I think at the end I finished with 600. So there you have it. That's been halfway through the border of my, oh my God. Enjoy it. You'll be there. That's so true. Thanks, Tammy. Oh my God. Her knit picks cords, so I couldn't get mine to do it. Maybe it's because my new ones. Oh, they're one of the first ones. Yeah, I know. And I just can't. My husband even tried because this end is just, they must not have gone very far into the stitch, into here with these newer sets. Normally I probably wouldn't have bought it, but because every time I go on vacation, I usually get yarn somewhere. And then I think, oh, I want to start that, or I want to do another hat. And I didn't bring the the needles with. So I thought, oh, I'm going to fix myself. I'm going to take a set with me, and I'm always going to leave this set in the suitcase. Duh. First, you got to measure and make sure you've got everything under control before you do that. So, and the other thing I did this time, as you can tell, this is such a fantastic, stylish type.
That's a nice
Isn't that project
yarn
bag?
project bag.
Because I thought, well, instead of taking the little cans and everything in every bag, I would just take this one,
Yeah.
and then switch the projects
from
day to day. Put them in there. Yeah, that didn't work out either, because half the time I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I would work on the hat, or I'd work on this, and I thought, and then after this fiasco and I'm breaking, I thought from now on it's going to be totally set. And then my sister, who picks on me every time and said, how many projects did you bring? And then she's like, boy, you didn't bring enough to do. Because I kind of ran out towards the end. I actually sat down and read a book for a while. She's like, well, you didn't bring enough. I'm going, usually I get that. So speaking of my sister, she fell and cracked her hip. Ta-da! How do you like that? So I don't know what the next trip's going to be like. If she's got a walker, I can't pack as much. I'm going to wear the same clothes every day, or have them washed or something, which we did this time. It worked out really well.
Yeah.
They did good laundry.
Yeah,
just make sure you write on there, cold water, cool air. Make it a big, big letters so they can find it. So other than that. So what did you guys do? I mean, I watched 1 week. I got 1 week to come up, but the other week came up and it was like, hey, look what we, and Carly was kind of going away, and I thought, okay, I'm done.
Well, I mean, I finished the hat for
Colleen.
For Colleen, which
went to Zoe.
it was so cute.
Yeah,
it was absolutely adorable. I like. We asked favorite color, and I just happened to have that perfect dusty pink in a silky
kind of
silk kind of. And I thought, oh, that cable one would be great. Hat number 5. I think it's called something different now, but I had the pattern when it was called hat number 5. Hat NO period. The number 5.
She did change the name, and
She changed the name to something. Yeah. But it used to be called hat number 5. And it just has this cute little cable in it, and then like a mock cable in between the cables. And I did the smallest size because she's only 11.
Right.
So I did the smallest size, and I put a, cute little pom-pom on the top of it, because I asked Colleen, pom-pom or no pom-pom? And she goes, all hats need a pom-pom.
Yeah.
So of course. So
and that's my philosophy anyway. That's one of my problems with making a full muscle bear. I can't put a pom-pom on.
I'm gonna put a pom-pom on this one.
Oh, I would.
I'm gonna make a pom-pom out of this.
There you go.
So I'm
You're just about there.
I'm close to because
Yeah.
I want to use this up. And I really don't want to have much left. So I was gonna do it like full on and just do the same size so that the fold over would just be white.
Right.
But I think I'm going to start decreasing here soon so that I'll have enough of this to make a decent pom-pom.
So you have a pom-pom on the inside of your head if you turn it inside out. Let's just keep it up where it's supposed to be.
Well, you can move the pom-pom.
That's true. You can.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So
I never even thought about that. That's true. You can.
You can always move the pom-pom.
That's true.
But since it's going to be almost the same one way or the other, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
So that, did I finish something else? Well, I found my shadow shawl that I'd completely forgotten about. So I've worked a little bit on that. Not much. I've been more doing shit in the Etsy shop.
Well, you have
doing
to.
stuff.
You got to get that going. That's because I wandered around the ship with my ducks.
The mystery cats pack is up. We talked about it last week, but I didn't have photos of it. So I did take photos. That pack is up.
That is so cute.
They're just
oh my
a
god!
bunch of cats.
And I'm not a cat person.
Listen, there's a bunch of cats, and then the I sits cats. Those have been going over like hotcakes. So
oh yeah.
the little black cats that are sitting in containers.
Nice.
I just put up some 4th of July ones.
You got to be on target. Well, you got Memorial Day coming up before 4th of July.
So it's 3 little stars, red, white, and blue, little star, and then a bigger.
That's good. This is a nice.
That's a pack.
This is a good little set to have stuck away in your emergency needles.
It's all just
because then you've got
just stitch markers.
Stitch markers. Yeah. Then you've got stitch markers, and sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah.
You know.
But I will have another 4th of July one or Memorial one, red, white, and blue one.
It's got an ice cream cone in it.
Yeah. It's got flip-flops, ice cream cones, all of the summery fun red, white, and blue things in it. That will be a pack that you can customize. You can have it any way you want it.
Ashley and Ross, they are saying if you used a snap pom-pom, you could put the pom-pom either place. That would work because that would be good. It works. Good.
You would have you would just put a snap on either side of it.
Yeah, but
that would work.
Yeah, that would work. Good idea. And then you could change the pom-poms too. If you had something that was colorful. Yeah.
Well,
yours is pink.
I'm gonna do.
Of course, it's pink.
Well, I'm gonna do it with the same.
If you hadn't gotten a tie-dye shirt, you would have gotten a pink shirt.
Of course, I could get a fur one.
That would be
for this.
Too.
I could do this. The way I was thinking was just to use this all the way up, because I am thinking this is like thread.
It's a lace weight.
It is very lace weight. So I was originally thinking of just doing it.
And the label's in Danish, so I have no idea what the content is. All I know is I went like this.
It's like 50% silk, 40% wool, and 10% mohair.
Okay. But it was soft enough that I knew you could put it by. Yeah. I was walking around the store, but lady probably thought, oh, that crazy woman walking around my store going, this isn't a washcloth, lady. It's yarn. You have to make the washcloth.
I don't have any makeup on. It's fine. I just want to know if it's going to be itchy.
If I'm going to be itchy after a while. Yeah, or do I have to put flannel in there? And that means an extra step,
Goodness, right?
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, what else? I put up glittery sea creatures. They're fun. You probably would love those because they're sparkly.
Yeah, that's good. That's more sparkly.
She missed all of the shop updates, so I'm trying to fill her in.
Fill you in too at the same time. And I have other big news. My last big news.
Oh, I have big news.
He officially retired.
Yeah, so she's going to be over here more often.
Yeah.
I have prepped the spare bedroom just in case she needs to move in.
Yeah, officially retired. They knew this was kind of coming, but he figured it was going to be like March. No. Had a meeting at 10:45. They said, when you log off, you're done. I'm like, well, that's better than getting a letter, I guess. At least it was.
Yeah, at least it was.
Well, at least it was personal. So they were supposed to send him his how to send back his laptop. He doesn't even have to take that in. They're going to send the FedEx box is coming tomorrow or something, and then he sends the laptop back, and then he can sign off and everything. And I was like, great. So he retired on Wednesday, essentially. Thursday, my sister calls and says my garbage disposal is making noise. There was a spoon in it. Then she falls and breaks her hip, and cracks her hip. She's not having surgery. She just has to stay off of it. It's just a fracture. Thank God she didn't have to go through that. And so he takes her to the emergency room. I said, boy, it's a good thing you're retired.
Right?
I said, you're not even retired a week, and you're running back and forth and doing all this stuff. So I left him in bed this morning when I left. I got up with the dog and everything. Yeah. And
he asked her, do you need something to eat before you go?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I'm going to the pop-up diner.
And he goes, what's that? Thinking, and I'm like, Sue's house? And I said, I'm getting biscuits and gravy. Well, that sounds good. I was waiting. I was just waiting. You want me to drive you? Like, yeah, no, you can't have biscuits and gravy. Jamie's a new.
Karen, if you have a white one, yes.
Oh, good. That would be great.
Snap-on pom-poms.
That would be good.
White would be a good one.
Yeah. Well, Zoe's I made a beret with a sage and then a pink, and then she likes gray. And so I put the gray pom-pom on the top. And then I gave her one of my muscle.
The half Musselberg.
Yeah, the half Musselberg with
It's the-
dragonfly on the bottom.
It's just the bird.
It's just the bird. No, it's the muscle part because the bird part is this part. It's the decreased part. That's
Whatever.
what I'm gonna say. I don't want to say I'm making a bird. I'm making
Yeah.
a muscle.
But muscle just sounds like the gym or something.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Whatever.
But it is. It's a workout when you're knitting. You have to stay focused and you have to, watch people go. That is one thing I love about it because you can do this. And most of us can do a few or 3, 4 stitches and watch the world go by.
Yes.
This is amazing. Plus, when you get your hat to this point, you put your yarn in the center.
In the center.
And then all of a sudden, people watching you, and they're not like intently
You're
watching
like,
you.
you're like,
All of a sudden, I'm on a different color, and they're wondering, what did I do?
you're like Whatchamadear from the Weasley family. It's just magically making yarn appear.
So it's really kind of fun when you're just sort of doing this, And I'm sure people are thinking, you spend all this money to get on a bus to do a tour and you're not even looking out the window. And I look up when they tell me something's coming, but
Right.
I don't like sitting in the back of the bus. So I usually have to have something to do. So it keeps me from fidgeting and driving my sister crazy and having her throwing me in the aisle. So that's how it works.
So my big news was yesterday, my brain was actually functioning in the morning, where unlike today, my brain's not functioning this morning. But yesterday,
That's because she abused it yesterday.
I did abuse it yesterday.
Okay, go ahead.
But so yesterday morning, my brain started working, and it was about 10:30 our time. So it would have been 9:30 Tori's time.
Okay.
My brain went, the 4th of July this year. So if you guys have been watching, paying attention to us long enough, my house does a 4th of July party every year on the 3rd, because that's when our town does fireworks and you can see them from my deck.
Totally.
So we always have a
no
big party.
obstructive view, no nothing.
No,
and
nothing.
People come and sit on the ground, but her deck's up here.
My deck's up there.
It's amazing.
So I always have a party on the 3rd. Y'all are invited if you can get to my house. So you can come. We supply food. We supply brats and burgers usually, or brats and hot dogs.
Everybody
and
brings something.
Cowboy
desserts.
beans, and everybody else brings whatever you want.
Yeah.
We supply, pop, soda, beer.
Yeah.
Mix it. It's a
It's
party.
always a party. And they always do
It's a
that
party.
throwing thing.
Yeah, the
with the
cornhole.
whole- That's it.
Cornhole.
Well, I didn't know what it was
We
called.
have a couple boards out there. At any rate, I thought, well, this year the 3rd is a Wednesday, it's Wednesday,
Okay.
and Tori's schedule is usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
She's off on Wednesday.
So she's off on Wednesday, which is our party day. The 4th, I would imagine that they're going to be closed.
Yeah. Maybe she could take a couple days.
So and initially I was thinking, I wonder if I could bribe her down to help me with my Etsy shop if I paid her like handsomely, right? Because
minimum
I'm
wage to moms is triple what the normal wage is.
but
know.
not
And
only that,
slide
but
a
not
little
only
extra
and slide a
into the
little extra.
pocket.
But here's my thing. Last year, I ended up needing help from my friends immensely come Christmas time.
Keep your cards and letters coming, folks, because we like it.
And my friends jumped on it and were super helpful. My mother-in-law now is helping me out, but I want to do an advent calendar.
Yes.
And I want to have it available in July for Christmas in July, because last year I did a big sale in July, my
Mhm.
Christmas in July thing. So
Mhm.
I want my advent out in July.
Nice.
Right. Or at least, maybe
the teaser or something. The
Yeah.
ordering side of it or something.
I don't know, something
Yeah.
out in July. So I called my daughter and I'm like, can you take Thursday, Friday off? Vacation days. Drive down here on Wednesday or Tuesday night after work, whatever you want to do. And then do the party with us.
Yeah.
And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, help me with my Etsy shop. I will pay you handsomely. And then you could drive home on Sunday and you'll only have taken 2 days off of work. She goes, absolutely. I'll put the time in tomorrow.
Super.
So my daughter's coming here for the 3rd.
that'll be so good.
A pair. But
Well,
she's
that's
also
all right.
she's also she's my organizer.
Yeah. Oh,
so
she's
my
got
room
that
has
brain.
my room has turned into another mess because of course, I fucking shopped like a cray woman in January this year, and I have a $500 order that hasn't gotten to me yet.
I remember that. I remember doing when I used to do the bags and things like that, because you would find stuff, and then of course you wanted to get this to go with it, and then this one may be on sale, but something to go with it you had to get.
I'm gonna have to
extra.
I'm gonna have to set up a board for my advent calendar.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
I need a
what do you think,
board.
guys? I think a pin board, like a cork board, and then you can pin up to kind of give you some of the ideas.
I have
do you have a whiteboard too?
I have those mats.
That would
the
work.
Stick mats.
Yeah, that'll work.
The Wetschmininger mats.
You could just use, like you said, the blocking mats.
Yeah, the blocking mats.
Yeah, that would work. With T-pins. With T-pins. And then we can hang,
1 through 25 or 24.
You could kind of
I should do a 12 and a 24.
What do you think, guys? 12 and a 24? Yeah, because it's 12 days of Christmas.
And the 24, the full Advent, half Advent. Maybe I do a half one in July.
That would be fun. Yeah, half Advent. Just that we did 12 days of Christmas, and then we could do the Advent in December.
The July Advent is 12.
Yeah, because it's 12. We got to
get ready
to go.
I don't know. My brain's going a million miles an hour, so my daughter tends to rein me in a little bit.
And I won't.
She's a little younger, and she can do a little more of the fussy stuff.
I won't rein her in. I'm like, keep going. I'm the enabler.
Yeah, she's the enabler.
It's sort of like Colleen when we went to Simply Sock. Oh, here, you need this.
Yeah.
And it was in the basket, and you got up to check out, and you're like, where the fuck did this come from?
Where did that come from? Oh. Colleen just put it in.
And then when after Colleen bought it, I was like, hey, where'd you find that? I got to go get that. So
she's like, it's already in your bag. I put it there.
Yes.
I knew you'd want one. It's already there.
So anyway.
And I've already.
She's checked out.
I've already checked out. I got like 20 skeins of yarn, and I've already checked out into the car.
$4.15, and we're all like, how the hell did you do that?
I had a gift certificate from work for Christmas.
I know, but still, it didn't matter.
A Visa gift card or whatever.
Yeah. So I was kind of looking through some of my stuff yesterday, and I'm thinking,
New Hampshire.
I'm like, I probably should get some orders in, because I'm gonna think we're poor again until he's not gonna get Social Security until September. So I'm gonna sign up because that's full benefit at 66 and 8 months. When your birthday is like 1958, it's 66 and 8 months. 1959, it's 66 and 9 months. I mean, I don't get it, but that was their way of extending it as time went on. So that, because it's busted.
It's 100.
Yeah, I think you have to work until I think that's
112.
Pretty close to. I wouldn't even think about it back then, coming forward. It's just such a pain in that poor guy. And he worries. He's the worry boy in the family. It's not half full. It's half empty, and there's a crack down here that's leaking.
And it's leaking.
It's going to leak. It hasn't leaked yet, but it's going to leak. And I know that I need to get that crack either fixed or I have to drink it
Just
off.
tell him, don't worry. If it starts going out too much, I can always
put a piece of duct tape.
I can sell my pens. You can have an auction.
Never.
Pen auction.
Never.
Well,
I took them upstairs one day and I decided I was going to color. Well, first off, the shit was like this the whole time because it was very breezy. So I didn't stay in the lines very well. So you can imagine how coloring when your ship is doing this is not a good thing. It fills in well. You don't have to do anything.
I mean, just hold your pen there.
And
it's good.
So, yeah. Oh, I felt so sorry the one day. I felt so sorry for the kids upstairs who were mopping because everybody was getting their coffee. It's at the coffee stand. They finally got to the point they put it on a cart and brought it to you and took the cups away. They brought it to you and said, where are you at? I'll bring you your coffee, because they were mopping the floor because everybody was taking their coffee. And of course, we got to fill it to the top.
Yeah.
And slosh.
Yeah. Sloshing coffee all the way
back.
Place.
And then by the time you got to your chair to sit down and drink it, you had half a cup.
Right.
I mean, this is how bad some of it was some of these days. And he was doing the best he could. I'm sure he was. But, we had headwinds and everything else. So
Oh,
it was just, but it was fine. But you weren't uncomfortable. It wasn't like the Atlantic where you're being thrown against. It was a little better of a rocking sense. You were doing more of this.
Yeah.
And not.
It was a lullaby.
Yeah. Whereas on the
lullaby.
Atlantic, when it does that, it throws you. It's a really bad situation. Plus, you just, after a couple of days, you just walk with your legs apart and grab onto everything as you go. You don't care who it is. Somebody's penis, it don't make any difference. You just grab it. Somebody did that one day. Yeah, she did.
Let me hold on to your penis as I'm walking down.
Oh, no. I don't know if she actually got it, but it was hysterical the way that she did. She was sitting down. He got there with her coffee at the same time. She kind of slipped when she was trying to reach for the coffee and sit at the same time. And she went and she sort of grabbed the neighborhood. And the guy goes, whoop! And we all kind of chuckled in the neighborhood.
Right.
And that,
as one would.
Yeah. And another couple of times I was sitting there knitting, not paying any attention. And all of a sudden, this super nice gentleman sits down in front of me and he goes, okay, I'm here. Go ahead and get your food. And I looked up at him and I'm like, can I help you? And he goes, you're not my wife. And I said, accusing like as if I had done something wrong. And it was just the way he said it, like, you're not my wife. And I'm like, no. And he goes, well, you look like her. But you seem nicer. I'll go find her. And that's what he said. And off he goes. We bring them. And then I ran into him later on. And I said, well, I see you found her. And the wife kind of looked at me funny. And I said, he got the wrong table. And we got to chatting. And she goes, he does that. He thinks everybody looks like me. And she goes, and then she, as they kind of walk by, and she goes, and everybody's nicer than me anyway. I thought she was a doll, but maybe she's not to him. So anyway.
Sometimes I think people act differently to their spouses.
Oh, they do. Yes.
Than other people.
Everybody would take my husband in a heartbeat. He plays the best hand-packed husband in the entire world. He is so solicitous when we're at a party. Everybody goes, how can you pick on him? You don't live with him. And my sister's the same way. She picks up the phone and says, hey, it's making noise. And he goes over there and pulls out a spoon, right? He takes her to the emergency. He takes me to the emergency room too. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not picking on that. But I can say, hey, it's not working very good. I'll put it on my list. Needless to say, I can't wait.
The list is 15 years long.
It's a whole roll of tape from an adding machine. I mean, all I have to do is this and it would go for miles, going down.
See, that's when I just started hiring it done.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation.
She says that. I've done that. But unfortunately, I'm not the best finder of people. And they've kind of screwed things up a couple of times. Now, to a non-perfectionist, good enough, right?
Yeah.
It's painted. It looks fine. We'll clean up the. No. Mine has to redo it. Sharon, I get it. She has one like that too. So anyway.
Okay.
So it's good to be back. I'm here for another 3 weeks and then I leave for the Caribbean. So, and then I'm here for a little longer. So you'll see me a little bit more.
Okay.
Before we go to Bermuda. Unless I can talk him into doing something else. Because I did tell him, you are retired now. And he goes, well, you can go anytime you want. I'm like, I can't get Sue to take days off work. I need to get Sue.
She got me tie-dye.
Isn't that cute? Kawaii. Yay.
I love tie-dye.
She does. She loves tie-dye. She does good. And you look good in it.
Don't hate me if you see a V cut in it.
No, that's fine. And you can take the sleeves off or take the whole thing off.
Okay.
I figured you would anyway.
Yeah.
I was looking for one of those shirts anyhow. Ones with the
that was already
the guys wear, with the muscle with the holes all the way down
wife
here.
beaters.
Yeah. I was looking for that anyway. So you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Yeah, have a good Valentine's
Day. And enjoy
Day.
the Super Bowl tonight. Ladies, get your knitting out and enjoy.
I'm going to take her in and show her all of the new goodies for the Etsy shop.
I'm going to go home with a bag. Take it away.
Shopping.
Believe me, your tip huggers, I gave pretty much every tip hugger I had away.
Well, you need more then. We'll get you some more.
She made those ducks up with the earrings for me. And I gave them away to the crew to the ladies on the crew, and
I
in
have
fact,
more ducks.
the last morning
Oh my gosh. I have
they
to show you
had-
something else.
they had the little ducks in their ears when we came down to breakfast. So they had taken them out of their pockets and put them in their ears. Oh, what did you get? Oh my God, are they cute?
The little pigs.
The piggies.
They're
Oh.
pigs.
Cute. Oh my God, I want a piggy. Oh, look how cute he
They're
is.
in all different colors.
Oh, he's so
Yeah,
cute. What's the
you
guy?
need piggy earrings.
Wilbur.
Don't you need piggy earrings?
Yeah, I don't wear them. I just give them away. Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. Oh,
The
isn't
green
that
ones.
cute, little pigs? Oh my God.
See, and I was thinking for my farm animals, but
Well, we have to get chickens, and we have to get gooses, and we have to get, skunks.
I
And,
think the pigs
yeah.
might just go up
yeah,
on their own.
maybe you should get some skunks, because those should go on projects. You could turn them into outside pins. We need to get those
I think
because it's skunked. We're not gonna do it.
I think
It's not.
yeah, we need to have skunk ones for whips
Yeah, for works
That-
in progress
for-
that we're in timeout,
that are in purgatory.
in purgatory, so that when you look at the bag, you can go, "What is in this? Oh, it's
Oh,
got
it's
a
a skunk
skunk.
on
Leave it there. We're not gonna do it." I like that
See if
idea.
I can find some skunks now.
All right. Hey, and Ellie, if you're watching, I'm so glad you're back. I'm sorry about your mom. We'll be there in Norway. Don't worry. I told her I would say hi today because I hadn't heard from her. So anyway, we'll see you guys later. I should have made us wear Valentine's shit today.
I wore pink. I don't know what your fucking problem is.
Oh man, I screwed up. All right, we'll start.
Well, her favorite
St.
color is
Patrick's
purple
Day.
anyway, so it's okay.
We'll start St. Patrick's Day next. Oh no, Mardi Gras. When is Mardi Gras? I don't even know. I'll look it all up. Don't
March.
worry, guys. I'll let you know. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later. Oh wait,
It's not a
not
touchscreen.
touchscreen. It dawned on me after it didn't do anything, guys. Bye, everybody. Have
See
a good
you
day.
next time.
And